Hey guys, Tommy Gans here. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about a subject that, well, I don't want to say controversial, it's probably not the right word, but I think often debated is the right way to put it. It's called staying inside the ball. You'll find that coaches to different degrees put a different emphasis on how important it is to stay inside the baseball. So today, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what it means, how important it is, how much it affects us and what we do here at the Academy, and I think you'll find it interesting. So to start, let's just talk about what it means to stay inside the baseball. Well, what we find with so many hitters, particularly young players, 9, 10, 11 years old, when they swing at a baseball, if you kind of focus on my back elbow here, when they swing, they kind of cast out away from their body. And as they cast out, you'll notice that they're extending outward. They're extending out over the plate. Now, you'll hear the term extension thrown around a lot, and of course, extension is a very important part of the swing. But what we mean by having good extension is when we swing down through the ball, we're extending on the same plane as the baseball. We're not extending outward over the plate. So, again, when you don't stay inside the baseball and you swing, you'll find that their back elbow is casting out away from the body, and they're getting a lot of extension out over the plate, which means that all their power is being lost out here instead of down and through the ball. So again, to see what it looks like when you stay inside the baseball, now you'll notice that as I swing down to the ball and I'm simulating a ball traveling over the plate, you'll notice that my hands are in between me and the baseball and my elbow is close to my body. It's almost up against my body, if you will. So watch that back elbow, make sure it's close to the body, and the best way to describe what it means to a young player to stay inside the ball is just really what it is. It's your hands are in between you and the baseball. So again, talking to a young player, I always let them know that of course when the ball's out over the plate, middle away, ball outside over the outside part of the plate, it's quite easy to swing at that baseball and keep your hands in between you and the baseball. And pitchers know that, of course. So, as the pitcher starts to throw the ball more inside, well, what happens to that space? All of a sudden now that space gets a little smaller and tighter, and it's a lot more difficult to stay inside the ball. So as you're training with your young players, what you want to do is start feeding them the ball's middle in, and with that space shrinking a little bit, and challenging them and make them really work hard at swinging down and through the ball while keeping their hands close to their body. And you'll notice they'll get a lot more power in their swing. They won't be pulling off the baseball, and you'll notice what they'll start to do is they'll start to have kind of like a little inside-out movement. That ball will kind of, on a right-handed hitter, start having a little rise to it and a little inside-out movement where it'll be going into like right center field, right field area. So, again, you'll find that different coaches and different philosophies will start to have different degrees of importance on the inside-out swing. But, I always use Derek Jeter as an example. I mean, everybody knows that Derek is famous for staying inside the baseball. I always love to talk to people about how well he moves runners over. If Derek gets up to bat and there's less than 2 outs and there's a runner on first, well, he is a master at moving that runner over to third base. And aren't we all taught to do that? I mean, we've got less than 2 outs and you're a right-handed hitter, you got a runner on first, your job is to get that ball in the right field so that the runner can get to third, so we can score him on a sac, a sacrifice fly, and not rely on the base hit. Well, if everybody is taught to do that, well, don't the pitchers know we're trying to do that? Of course they do. So where's the pitcher going to pitch? He's not going to give you a ball out over the plate and on the outer half part of the plate where it's easy to do that. He's going to start pitching you in. And of course, that's where it gets more difficult to stay inside the ball. Well, what I love about Derek is, I'm sure all of you have seen, that pitcher can throw a ball up at his face and he's just a master at staying inside the ball and inside outing it into right field and moving the runner over. We all can't be Derek Jeter, but we can start developing this technique early on. We have players as early as 8, 9 years old really working on staying inside the baseball and really actually developing more of an inside-out swing. Now again, that's my personal philosophy, and I do believe that players at an early age can learn to do that. It always has frustrated me a little bit. Why do players get so many accolades for having that inside-out swing, but yet we're kind of afraid to teach it to our youth? So I've always found that a little puzzling. We really work hard, and we've had a lot of success at teaching young players to stay inside the ball and have more of an inside-out swing. Try it, don't force it on them, spoon feed it to them a little bit at a time, especially you younger players, and just start getting them conscious of it and starting them to work on it at early ages. And you'll find they'll have a good, powerful up the middle swing, they'll have a lot of movement on the ball, and when you watch a young player develop an inside-out swing, It's a beautiful thing. So try it. I think you'll have great success with it. Till next time.